de-energized the next time you do any work around them. Stay smart, stay safe, stay back. ComEd, powering lives. Before the weather gets too cold, it's time to finish up those outdoor jobs. That's why ComEd wants you to know that electricity can jump from a power line to you and to the tools you're using. So maintain a safe distance from any power lines. You can also call ComEd at 1-800-EDISON-1 to have those power lines de-energized the next time you do any work around them. Stay smart, stay safe, stay back. ComEd, powering lives.
Ladies and gentlemen, step on inside. It's Big Top Sports, your thrilling ride. From the Chicagoland to lands afar. With Derrick Geyer, your sports czar. The game's the place from field to rink. Hot debates, fast takes, no time to blink. The Windy City roar, the fans ignite. Your circus of sports under radio light. Big Time Sports, feel the roar. Where the wild games come to score. Geyer guiding the sports band from the heart of Chicagoland.
And welcome in to another edition of Big Top Sports here on WRMN 1410 AM. Truly, Derrick Geyer, and joining me in studio today, it is Bob Mariner. How you doing? I got a recording show going on.
I'm doing all right, Derrick. How are you doing today, sir?
Well, it is. Hello, out there in Radio Land. It is Big Top Sports. No, it is not a recorded show. I am actually live and in person and in studio.
Ladies and gentlemen, step on inside. It's Big Top Sports, your thrilling ride. From the Chicagoland to lands of...
Well, we already did this dance, and here I am once again. It is Derrick Geyer here on Big Top Sports, WRMN 1410 AM. That is, well, hey, TGIFF. I am not working today, but I am in studio, so hey, thank you for joining me live and in living color. If you want to be a part of this episode of Big Top Sports, please feel free to call in at 847-931-1410. That's 847-931-1410. Or if you want to see my lovely live and in-person face on youtube.com at WRMN 1410 AM, please go over there and do that as well. If you also want to text in, feel free to call or text in at 505-926-1410. That is 505-926-1410. And before I get going any further, don't forget to check out what is going on at the Athletes Headquarters Foundation for the Big Game Benefit Bash, sponsored by Celsius, Live Fit, Vasselli Law, WRMN. Go to ahqfoundation.org/events, where you will be able to purchase your tickets for the event. It is at Wintrust Field, home of the Schaumburg Boomers. It's going to be a live stream, free parking, open bar, food, silent auction, raffles, and games. Get ready for an unforgettable Super Bowl night at the Athletes Headquarters Foundation 2026 Big Game Benefit Bash, where great people, great fun, and a great cause come together. This event is all about enjoying the biggest football game of the year, while giving back and supporting the mission of the Athletes Headquarters Foundation. And once again, go to the ahqfoundation.org/events to get your tickets. And joining me right now via the Big Top Sports hotline, it is none other than Meagan Biebel. From the Athletes Headquarters Foundation. Hello, Meagan. How you doing?
Hey, Derrick. Happy Friday. I'm doing great. How are you?
Oh, I am doing fan-frickin-tastic. I am really excited about the AHQ Foundation's event for the big game that is taking place at Wintrust Field, home of the Schaumburg Boomers. So why don't we just get into it right now? What have you lined up for everyone that will be in attendance for the big game bash?
Oh, man. So I'm at Boomer Stadium right now. We've been setting up all day our silent auction, which is going to be fantastic. We have something for everybody. We have things that go from Mexico trips to Argentina. We have tons of signed sports memorabilia. We have things from the Cubs, the Bears, the Sox, all different teams, the Marlins. We have fun things for people to do around local towns. We have everything. And we are so excited to get something for everybody to go back with them after our event.
Awesome. And one of okay, so in our correspondence over the last week or so, a week and a half, and with talking with Derek Showman, the hitting instructor, or I'm sorry, the hitting coach for the Chicago White Sox, got to get that title correct eventually, idiot. But he will be in attendance. There was also a video and that you sent me. Why don't you tell me who else is going to be in attendance as far as, Major League Baseball players?
Well, that's going to be from Derek. But
Okay.
We had Kyle Stowers. He is wonderful. He is on the Marlins. Fantastic guy. He's been very supportive of our mission, and we had him do a little video for everybody to get them pumped for the Super Bowl.
And so he is leaving the warmth. Well, I don't necessarily know where he is coming in from, but he will be in. And unfortunately, it's going to be a little bit colder for him. For Mr. Stowers, going to be coming in over the weekend and being in attendance for the big game bash.
We'll be seeing if Kyle's able to swing it. He's having a baby soon, so not sure if he's going to be making it. I know she's due any day now, but we'll see who Derek brings along, because Derek will be coming straight from spring camp.
Yeah, so he's going to be leaving the warmth of Arizona. That bastard.
Yes. So if anyone wants to meet him or ask him questions or anything like that, he's going to be in for 24 hours, so don't miss it.
Yeah, that's going to be fun. I really enjoyed talking the nuts and bolts as far as like hitting, as far as just Major League Baseball and down into the minors. But okay, I got to ask you this one, because the Argentina trips, where it is going to be the silent auction, and it's freaking Argentina. So that
once in a lifetime.
Right. That in it of itself is pretty damn cool that you were able to get that donated for the silent auction. But
very cool.
There's the caveat of it where it's Argentina and a dove hunting trip. And I'm sorry, what was the other caveat for the other Argentina trip?
Sure. We have a dove trip and we have a polo trip.
A polo trip. So it's where they are on horseback and they're playing polo.
Yes, and you will be accompanied by professional polo instructors, and it looks beautiful.
You had me at Argentina. Now,
right?
adding the two other, the caveats to that sounds pretty damn cool, assuming that you are actually into hunting. but
And
still,
if you're
it's
not,
Argentina.
we have 3 places in Mexico you could choose from to go to as well.
Okay, well, don't keep me waiting here, Megan. Where can I potentially go to Mexico? Or yeah, just where can I go in Mexico?
Yeah, we have one of them is Puerto Maya. We have 3 places
Oh.
that you can choose from, so you can kind of compare and see what the best fit is. But the Mexico trip is great if you're looking for a vacation where you really want to kick back. I know the other ones have some activities, so this one is pure relaxation and just a break from reality.
Hey, I mean, okay, so it may be just after 4 o'clock, but damn it, it's 5 o'clock somewhere.
It
And
is.
I'm already thinking margarita or pina colada or like a daiquiri on the beach, listening to the ocean waves crash in,
Oh,
getting sand in my. No, I can't say that.
and you know what you can do? You can bid on some of our Taylor Swift signed memorabilia, and you can take that with on your vacation and just have a great time.
Now, Travis Kelsey. Well, is it a Taylor is it a Taylor Swift cutout that is signed, or is it just some sort of Taylor Swift memorabilia that has actually been authenticated?
Yes, it has. Yes, everything that we have is, and we have some guitars, acoustic guitars that are signed from her, and we also have some albums. So, like something you can put on your wall. They're really neat, and it's a great investment long term.
Yeah, because if I'm not mistaken, she's cranking out albums left and right, at least 2 per year. Not only that, but it's Taylor frickin' Swift, and I'll admit, and I've admitted on these very airwaves here, I'm talking with Meagan Biebel of the Athletes Headquarters Foundation on Big Top Sports, WRMN 1410 AM. On these very airwaves, that I am, in fact, a Swiftie. No, I haven't exactly, heard her latest album,
That's okay.
but I'm a Swiftie. And when I heard that was pretty damn cool in and of itself
Really
as
cool.
well. Not only that, but if you are, and now I'm pulling this from memory, now also if you are a geek at heart, like I am, like I know Jimmy Viselli is, like I know that Elliot the L Train Serrano is, from the WRMN Morning Show, dearly departing us, poor Elliot. But there will also be authenticated Star Wars memorabilia there as well.
And some Zoom visits that you can do with someone who was in the movie, David Ankrum, and you can have a virtual Zoom, and you can ask him anything you want. And he will also sign and personalize some items for you during that as well.
Damn. Okay.
Yeah, we got some really good stuff, Derek. You don't want to miss this.
What about so what about something where you're not exactly a traveler, you're not exactly a sports person, and you're not exactly like a Swiftie? What else you got for us?
Sure. Do you want to go paintballing? We have some tickets for that. We also have different fitness programs. We literally have something for everybody. Even things like hand-poured candles. So it's not just sports stuff. We have tons of things for people to have. We're also going to be having an awesome raffle as well, so you'll be winning things in that. Our mission is to have everybody leave with something, and we want everyone to remember it as a great night.
Well, with hanging out with you and Derrick at one of your other Athletes Headquarters Foundation events where you had the kids come in, they were getting a day in the life of a big leaguer. But why don't you tell us now? So we've already gone through like all the prizes and the joys of what you could possibly be winning. Why don't you give the audience here a little bit of a background on what the Athletes Headquarters Foundation is and stands for?
Sure. So we're a 501c3, and our whole mission is to help kids stay active and have wellness in their life. We don't want any money or circumstances to be a reason why a child can't be active or participate in a sport. So we just want to take down all the barriers and give children just a chance to have fun, to get active, to be a part of something, and to grow from that.
And you're doing it now. Not only are you doing that, but you're also taking used sporting equipment, refurbishing it, and giving it to those families and, those kids that are in need. Do I have that correct?
So we give sports equipment, whether it's new or gently used. Most of our things that we have gently used are directly from MLB players. So it might be, a glove that they wore one time in practice. But we give those things to children. We also do things like we'll get brand new shoes or cleats or bats or whatever is necessary for a team or for kids to participate. We try to fill any void that we possibly can.
No, that's pretty damn cool. And I know from personal experience, having worked as the video intern way back when for the Chicago Cubs, where, you're talking the game used gloves for the athletes.
Mm-hmm.
So let's say in this case, we'll take, why don't I just take Sammy Sosa, for instance?
Sure.
When he was playing for the Chicago Cubs. That name, his name, is embroidered on the individual glove that he would use. And it's like that for any particular athlete that is in the big leagues.
Sure.
So for a gently used glove or game used glove or, however it comes to be in the kid's possession, they will always know that it is that particular athlete's glove. And
most times they will know. Some people have different customized things, different from other people, but there's usually an indicator on there. And we're happy if we give something to somebody. We like to tell them where it came from, kind of the origin, like, hey, this was Kyle Stowers, bat or
right.
Whatever it may be, because I think it's really special. And it's also a way that things don't, these guys get so much stuff and so much gear. And it's just a way to recycle it into the best use possible so it can get a full other life with the child.
Yeah, and it doesn't come to any expense. I'm sorry, not you, Megan, but the Athletes Headquarters Foundation is a 501c3 organization, which means, why don't you tell me what it means so I don't mess it up?
Everything is tax deductible to the fullest extent of the law. So it's not only you're giving this, you're giving to an organization that's giving directly to kids, but you can also do it as a write-off. So it's no harm, no foul. Everybody, comes out on top at the end, especially the kids. And that's what, this mission is all about.
And go to ahqfoundation.org/events or hell, the WRMN Facebook page. Scan the QR code and go get your tickets there. Relatively, no, they are cheap. They're $125. It's a tax write-off.
We have a full open bar. We have wonderful food. Your entry is going to get you into the raffle automatically. And if you want to pay at the door, that's okay too. So whatever people are most comfortable with, but we're excited to see everybody and party. We're excited to have a good time.
Well, okay. Tell me this. As far as the food goes, because, hey, big game bash, Super Bowl.
Food's important.
Food is important. Who is taking care of the food?
So the Boomers, they're wonderful. They're handling all of our food. We're going to have a fantastic spread. We'll have dessert as well. But they are handling everything, and they have great food.
Yes, they do. I can attest to that because I went to at least half a dozen to a dozen games last year with the Schaumburg Boomers, covered them, talked about them on my show, Big Top Sports, here on WRMN 1410 AM. And my current guest is Meagan Biebel of the Athletes Headquarters Foundation. And getting back to the food, okay, the beef sandwiches are crazy good. I don't know where their supplier is or who they get it from.
Because we're having Italian, so we'll be having the beef.
Okay,
Yep.
so the Italian. Okay, so the Italian beef with the giardiniera.
Of course.
Then
Can't not have it.
Then there's also, so if you're saying that you're having Italian, so is there going to be the Italian sausage?
That's a good question. I will have to double check on our menu, but we do have pasta.
Oh.
We have a little bit of everything,
Okay.
but there's going to be a lot of food and there's going to be a lot of drinks and a lot of auction items.
And one of the things, well, obviously, all good stuff going to a great cause. What are some of the games that you guys are planning on putting on during
So
the
we
big
just have
bash?
some kind of like backyard games. The typical backyard, we have bags and things like that. So just very football-esque environment.
Okay, do you have a dunk tank by
What you
chance?
see on we don't, but that's something we'll have to talk about that because I have an idea for a dunk tank in the future. And I
Okay.
could see a Derrick Showman potentially being in there.
Oh, I'm glad you went that route because I would have been like,
You're like, me?
"Hell no. No one wants to see me in an event.
Dunk the coach?
Yeah,
Might
dunk.
be fun.
Yeah, dunk the coach. You know that. Oh man, I could just see like all of the Chicago White Sox fans coming out and being like,
Oh my gosh.
I'm taking out my frustration on you because, well,
Poor guy.
well, I know he's new to the Chicago White Sox. You know, he came over from, you know, well, he went to the Miami Marlins via the Minnesota Twins, and you know now he's
Yeah.
here. He's trying to right the ship and build a good hitting foundation for the Chicago White Sox. But yeah, I mean
Absolutely.
that might be, and I really truly think that this is going to be a good year for the Chicago White Sox.
I agree. And what he did when he was in Miami was just incredible. And I think that's just going to be an explosion of that here. I think it's going to be a great year for the Chicago White Sox.
Absolutely. And I'm just kind of curious, what else am I missing? I feel like I'm missing something else, Megan.
Let's see. Okay, doors open. We're going to open at 5,
Ah.
like 4:45, 5 o'clock.
Mm-hmm.
And then what else did we miss? You know, we're going to think about it when we're off the call.
Well, I will say this. So the WRMN morning show with Susie C. and Elliot the All-Train Serrano will be in attendance, as well as myself. Derrick Showman, the hitting coach for the Chicago White Sox. Go more for him than go for the morning show and Derrick Showman. I'm just going to be there pigging out on the Italian food and stuff.
Yeah, you and me both.
and possibly having maybe 1 or 10 libations. I'll try to not be so No, that wouldn't be good. That's not good for
We
anyone.
can wheel you out the back.
Oh, yeah, right. Or, you know, just put my face in the cornhole slot and, you know, have at it.
So funny.
So, yeah, I do appreciate you coming on, Megan. Is there anything else
Absolutely,
that
thank
you would
you.
like to add for the big game bash that is sponsored or that is taking place for the Athletes Headquarters Foundation?
We're just really excited to get everybody out here, have a great time for a great cause. If anyone out there listening has any questions, please feel free to email or call us or go to our website. We're always available. We're just looking to have a great time.
Well, Megan, thank you for coming on, and go
Thank
to
you.
ahqfoundation.org/events to get your tickets. I appreciate you hopping on
Wonderful.
with me.
Thank you. Have a great weekend, everybody. See you Sunday.
Thanks, Megan. Have a good one.
Bye.
And that was Meagan Biebel of the Athletes Headquarters Foundation. You are currently listening to Big Top Sports here on WRMN 1410 AM with yours truly, Derrick Geyer. Going to have a little bit of NFL awards coming up after the break. Stay tuned.
With your news flash, I'm Ryan Gatenby, brought to you by Rain-X. Illinois Senate Democrats are pushing new taxes on digital advertising, billionaires, and corporations, arguing large companies aren't paying their fair share. Republicans counter that state spending has surged in recent years and warn higher taxes could drive businesses out of Illinois. Illinois drivers are paying less for car insurance. Insurify says average full coverage rates fell 7.2% in 2025, saving drivers about $138 a year. The average annual cost is around $1,800. Illinois Attorney General Kwame Raoul's office has won the state's first civil hate crime lawsuit under a 2018 law. A Carroll County judge ordered 2 residents to pay more than $90,000 in penalties and damages for racially motivated intimidation of a black neighbor. I'm Ryan Gatenby with your news flash.
Straight Talk Wireless presents Pickup Truck Wisdom.
If you're only good to your new friends, you're not going to have any old ones. Straight Talk gets it. That's why new and existing customers get free 5G phones on Verizon's 5G network. Pretty simple, really. You keep good people by being good people.
Find us at straighttalk.com and Walmart. Straight Talk Wireless. Straightforward. Always. Taxes and fees apply. Plan purchase required for free phone offers. Copyright 2026 Verizon.
Progressive knows life takes you in many directions.
Bear right at exit 32, then begin to wonder why you never bought a fish tank. In 1.3 miles, you'll realize you've been mispronouncing epitome your whole life. At the roundabout, you will remember you said something at dinner you wish you hadn't, and will think about it for decades. You have arrived at your destination, but it turns out there really is no destination, and life just keeps going.
Wherever life takes you, protect your home and auto with a bundle from Progressive. Progressive Casualty Insurance Company, affiliates, and other insurers. Not available in all states or situations.
Looking to set sail on your dream vacation? Cruises International has you covered. Specializing in land and sea getaways, they're here to make your vacation unforgettable. Located at 1721 Moon Lake Boulevard in Hoffman Estates, they offer personalized service with a global network of specialists to ensure your trip is tailor-made just for you. Call today at 800-255-7447 to speak with a cruise and vacation expert. And don't miss Travel Tuesdays on WRMN AM 1410 every first Tuesday of the month from 11 to 12 p.m. on Out to Lunch. That's Cruises International. Your vacation, your way.
Clutter happens, but junk doesn't have to weigh you down. At the Junk Luggers, we're your full-service junk removal and hauling pros, tackling everything from single-item pickups to major cleanouts. We handle the heavy lifting, and with our commitment to the green way, we rehome and recycle to keep your unwanted items out of landfills. So, whether you're clearing out the garage, downsizing, or saying goodbye to old furniture, we make the process eco-friendly and easy. Call 1-800-LUGJUNK or visit junkluggers.com today. Let's save your space and the planet together.
This is Sarah Silver with your Fox Valley forecast, brought to you by Progressive. This afternoon, cloudy with a high near 37, falling to around 32 later. Tonight, partly cloudy with a low around 8. Looking ahead to Saturday, sunny with a high near 22, cooling to around 20 in the afternoon. Expect a pleasant day with clear skies. Currently, 36 and overcast. I'm Sarah Silver on the Talk of the Town, WRMN.
Snapshot from Progressive wasn't created for just anybody. Oh no, we made it for you. Gradual breakers. You keep your eyes on the road, so you've seen it all. As long as it all happened directly in front of you, like a Swedish masseuse, your foot knows exactly the right amount of pressure to apply to the brake. That's why your passengers feel totally relaxed with you behind the wheel and occasionally super sleepy. With Snapshot, safe drivers like you get personalized rates based on your driving habits. Sign up today at Progressive.com. Progressive Casualty Insurance Company and Affiliates. Snapshot not available in California or from all agents.
Ladies and gentlemen, step on inside. It's Big Top Sports, your thrilling ride. Big Top Sports, feel the roar. Where the wild games come to score. Geyer guiding the sports band from the heart of Chicagoland. Football frenzy and hoops so high. Baseball swinging as seasons fly. Hockey blades cutting swift and true. Sports carousel spinning just for you. Big Top Sports, feel the roar. Where the wild games come to score. Geyer guiding the sports band from the heart of Chicago.
And welcome back into Big Top Sports here on WRMN 1410 AM with yours truly, Derrick Geyer. Hey, TGIFF. If you don't know what that second F is for, I can't help you. Actually, I can, but the FCC wouldn't appreciate it all that much. It stands for, thank God it's frackin' Friday. That's what it stands for. All right. As I had mentioned, the NFL awards were doled out yesterday. And, well, is there really any surprise as far as who won the Coach of the Year award? Of course, if you are listening to my voice, which you can also see and hear and look at my lovely face on the YouTube.com at WRMN Radio. That's YouTube.com at WRMN Radio. Or if you have any gripes about the NFL postseason awards, you could call in and get them off your chest at 847-931-1410. That's 847-931-1410. Or if you want to text in your gripes, do that at 505-926-1410. That's 505-926-1410. But as far as the NFL awards go, and this is in an article from Yahoo Sports by one Frank Schwab. I don't know. I just had to say it 3 times because I hear the name Schwab and I get the squirrels going in my head, and I'm thinking about that Schwab commercial that's basically on every single pay channel now, even on the not pay channels. But anyway, so Mike Vrabel, coach of the New England Patriots, and his team having one hell of a season at 14-3 after they were previously 4-13 the season before. And coach of, once again, the New England Patriots, who will be playing in Super Bowl 60. Kind of hard to not give him, Coach of the Year. All due respect to Ben Johnson and the Chicago Bears and their epic turnaround and beating the Green Bay Woodpeckers, the Green Bay Fudgepackers, the Green Bay Cheese Turds twice this season. Well, Ben Johnson came in 4th place as far as Coach of the Year. And as I was saying, kind of hard to discount the fact that Mike Vrabel took his New England Patriots from a 4-13 record to a 14-3 record in one season. And I mean, yes, so Ben Johnson actually had another, turnaround like that for the Chicago Bears. But I mean, dude's in the Super Bowl. Enough said. So Mike Vrabel got 302 points in the coaching ballot, 19 first-place votes. Liam Cohen finished 2nd, coach of the Jacksonville Jaguars. He finished with 239 points, 16 first-place votes. Mike McDonald, also Super Bowl head coach for the Seattle Seahawks. He finished with 191 points, 8 first-place votes. Ben Johnson, Chicago Bears. Good, better, best. Never let it rest. He finished with 145 points, 1 first place vote. And then there was Kyle Shanahan as well. So that info was courtesy of Josh Dubow of the AP. Yeah, really, 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 good season for the Chicago Bears, Ben Johnson. But yeah, when you are coaching in the big game and the Super Bowl, quite honestly, it probably should have been Mike Vrabel 1, Mike McDonald 2. But, I mean, Leon Cohen with the Jacksonville Jaguars also had one hell of a season, too, as well. Then you have Cleveland Rocks. Cleveland Rocks. Cleveland Rocks. Or actually, more accurately, the defensive player of the year was the Cleveland Browns defensive end, Myles Garrett. Well, that was pretty much a no-brainer as well. Garrett, he also won Defensive Player of the Year 2 years ago, won the league's top defensive prize again. Well, dude ended up having 23 sacks during the 2025 season, breaking Michael Strahan's record for most sacks. He currently has on his career 125.5 sacks in his 9 NFL seasons. And damned if he didn't just turn 30 years old, meaning the top career sacks leader. He could potentially do it in his career. And that is the distinct possibility. Let's see. Then we also have Offensive Rookie of the Year. It was the Carolina Panthers wide receiver, Tateria McMillan. Okay, McMillan was the 8th pick of last year's NFL draft and had a consistent, productive season for the Panthers team that won the NFC. McMillan had 1,014 yards and 7 touchdowns. McMillan beat out Patriots running back Trayvon Henderson. Could potentially be a nice prop bet for Henderson coming up in the Super Bowl. Just saying. He also beat out quarterback Tyler Shaw, Giants QB Jackson Dart, and the Buccaneers wide receiver Emeka Egbuka, who were the other finalists as well. McMillan also finished with 41 of 50 first-place votes, so easily outdueling Shaw, who finished second and had 5 first-place votes. One of the big additions to the Chicago Bears offensive line and your protector of the year. None other than the Chicago Bears guard, Joe Thuney. Yes, this is a new award. This is a new award to recognize offensive linemen, and the first winner of it was Joe Thuney. He is a big reason why the numbers of sacks that Caleb Williams suffered from the year prior, 68, dwindled immensely this year, allowing Caleb Williams to set the Bears' passing yardage record for the season. Not to mention, get the Bears to the playoffs. So, Joe Thuney, the versatile guard, who was in his first season with the Chicago Bears after 4 absolutely killer seasons with the Kansas City Chiefs. Cap casualty there. Thank you, Chiefs, for cutting corners there. I do appreciate it. As other Chicago Bears fans, I'm sure, appreciate it as well. but Tooney has been in the NFL for 10 seasons, and he has been a Pro Bowler for each of the past 4 seasons. Tooney said after he was presented his award, I quote, I wanted to perform well to the guy next to me. Just a lot of fun to go out there and play. I credit my teammates for how I played, end quote. And then Tooney also went on to say that it was long overdue. I'm sure he was talking as far as the awards for an offensive lineman being recognized in order to keep the quarterback for his team upright. And I will continue with the awards on the other side of this break. You are currently listening to Big Top Sports, WRMN 1410 AM with yours truly, Derrick Geyer. Back in a bit.
Looking to buy or sell a home in Chicagoland? Need trusted legal help with real estate, evictions, or estate planning? Turn to Guthrie & Brady, the happy lawyers serving the greater Chicago area since 1965. With over 50 years of experience, they handle titles and deeds, foreclosures, landlord-tenant issues, wills, trusts, and more. Appointments available evenings or weekends at their Roselle office or right in your home. Call Guthrie & Brady now at 847-524-1215. That's 847-524-1215. Or visit gnblegal.com. Guthrie & Brady, personal, professional, affordable legal services for all of Chicagoland. The happy lawyers since 1965. That's gnblegal.com. Or 847-524-1215. Guthrie & Brady, trusted legal help made easy, fast, affordable, and experienced. Call today.
My name is Ariel. I moved to the U.S. at 19. I spoke no English and I struggled finding job opportunities. Everything I have, I owe to the Adult Literacy Center and getting my high school diploma at age 22.
It was an honor helping you achieve your greatness. Now you're helping others achieve theirs. It inspires me.
When you graduate, they graduate. Find free and supportive adult education centers near you at finishyourdiploma.org. Brought to you by Dollar General Literacy Foundation and the Ad Council.
Do you owe the IRS $10,000 or more in back taxes? Are you being audited or investigated? Has the IRS sent you a letter demanding payment? You may not owe what they claim. Make this free call to the tax doctor now. Let them negotiate with the IRS on your behalf.
800-234-0316. 800-234-0316. That's 800-234-0316.
If you've turned 65 recently like me, it's important you find a Medicare Advantage plan that gives you the coverage you're looking for. But finding one can be difficult. The best thing I did, and I suggest you do the same, is call a licensed insurance agent and let them walk you through your Medicare Advantage plan options. There are so many benefits you have access to, so make the call now and let the representatives explain everything to you. Our licensed insurance agents can offer you a variety of Medicare Advantage plans. Plus, the call is free, the information is free, and there's no obligation to enroll. We're here to make it easy for you to select a Medicare Advantage plan that may work for your needs. Finding a Medicare Advantage plan can be easy if you do what I did. Make a quick call right now to learn more. Thank you.
800-433-3082. 800-433-3082. 800-433-3082. That's 800-433-3082.
And welcome back into Big Top Sports here on WRMN 1410 AM with yours truly, Derrick Geyer. Well, I already touched upon who was the Defensive Player of the Year. Well, should be no surprise that, well, actually maybe kind of a little bit of a surprise as far as who won the NFL Offensive Player of the Year. that would be Jackson Smith in Jigba. So kind of a little shock on my end, I gotta say, because while yes, Christian McCaffrey of the San Francisco 49ers won Comeback Player of the Year, I mean, it's a little bit interesting, or in my humblest of humble armchair sports radio talk show host, that Jackson Smith in Jigba was actually named Offensive Player of the Year at the NFL Honors in San Fran yesterday, considering the fact that, well, CMC, Christian McCaffrey of the 49ers, was basically one hell of a dynamic player for the 49ers this year. Over 1,000 yards rushing, over 1,000 yards receiving, and just the absolute dual threat that was everything of the 49ers' essential offense right there. So, but hey, kudos to Jackson Smith and Jigba for winning that. And the reason why I say, okay, well, he essentially could have won the NFL Offensive Player of the Year in CMC, Christian McCaffrey, because, well, he won the Comeback Player of the Year, because in the year previous, the season 2024, he was out due to injury, and he came back strong this year, playing in all 17 games. CMC did for the San Francisco 49ers, and gaining 2,126 yards from scrimmage with 17 touchdowns with a huge workload all season. I mean, you're talking 311 carries and 102 receptions. Holy smurf. That is the epitome of a workhorse right there. And CMC said, "This is a huge honor. I'm so blessed to have the biggest support system on the planet." McCaffrey got 30, end quote. So, quote unquote, "This is a huge honor. I'm so blessed to have the biggest support system on the planet," end quote. McCaffrey got 31 of 50 first place votes, according to the AP. Detroit Lions defensive end Aiden Hutchinson, who got 9 first place votes, finished second. Let me see. Let's bounce around to the defensive rookie of the year, also on the Cleveland Browns. You already heard that the defensive player of the year was sack man Myles Garrett for the Browns. But the defensive rookie of the year went to the Cleveland Browns linebacker Carson Schlesinger, who had 157 tackles in 16 games. So that was pretty damn good. And then you have the man of the hour, the NFL MVP, Matt the Ram Stafford. Okay, I don't know if they call him the Ram, but he is on the Los Angeles Rams, and he did win the NFL MVP for most valuable player in the NFL for this past season. Stafford won an exceptionally close vote, barely beating out Drake May of the New England Patriots, obviously. Stafford had 366 points with 24 first place votes. May had 361 points with 23 first place votes. And this is Stafford's first NFL MVP award at the end of his 17th NFL season. So, dude has been in the league quite some time, and he is aging like a fine wine. And then you've got probably, well, because I'm a little biased here, because hell, Chicago Bears, 85. Chicago Bears. Super Bowl winning, 85. Chicago Bears. Actually, 86 winning, but, 85, 86. You know how that works. But it was the final honor of the evening. And it was the Walter Payton Man of the Year. And that went to Washington Commanders linebacker Bobby Wagner. Wagner, a 14-year veteran with the Seattle Seahawks, Rams, and Washington Commanders, was given the prestigious honor for his work on and off the field. Wagner was awarded for his community service work, which includes being an advocate for mental health and social justice, according to the Commander's website. Wagner was quoted as saying, quote, "I didn't think I was going to win this award. I almost didn't come. I am glad I did," end quote. Yeah, I would say so. And of course, Jarrett Payton and the Payton family were there to give, well, the Walter Payton Man of the Year Award to Washington Commanders linebacker Bobby Wagner. And that is, I mean, hearing his speech, and I'll try to pull it up, but hearing Bobby Wagner's speech about what it means to him after losing his mother to a devastating stroke, and all the work that he has put into the community, I kind of feel that he did deserve the award. Nothing against DJ Moore, but I have my own particular soft spot for when it comes to mental health, that aspect of things, and then making it an even playing field as far as social justice reform as well. So let me just leave you with this at the top of the hour or before I go to break. Phone lines are open. I do not have a guest the rest of the way unless, some, miracle or whatever transpires. But feel free to call in at 847-931-1410. That's 847-931-1410. This is Big Top Sports here on WRMN 1410 AM.
Elgin isn't just a city. It's a community built on connection, innovation, and opportunity. And at the heart of it all is the Elgin Chamber of Commerce. For over a century, the Elgin Chamber has helped local businesses grow, connecting entrepreneurs, advocating for progress, and inspiring the leaders of tomorrow. Whether you're a new business just starting out or an established company looking to expand, the Elgin Chamber is your partner for success. Join a powerful network of leaders making a difference in our community every day. Together, we're shaping the future of Elgin one connection at a time. Elgin Area Chamber of Commerce, where business and community grow together. Call now, 847-741-5660, or go to info@elginchamber.com. Contact Carol Gieske.
Your hometown radio station since 1949. We are WRMN AM 1410, Elgin time.
With your news flash, I'm Ryan Gatenby, brought to you by Rain-X. Illinois Senate Democrats are pushing new taxes on digital advertising, billionaires, and corporations, arguing large companies aren't paying their fair share. Republicans counter that state spending has surged in recent years and warn higher taxes could drive businesses out of Illinois. Illinois drivers are paying less for car insurance. Insurify says average full coverage rates fell 7.2% in 2025, saving drivers about $138 a year. The average annual cost is around $1,800. Illinois Attorney General Kwame Raoul's office has won the state's first civil hate crime lawsuit under a 2018 law. A Carroll County judge ordered 2 residents to pay more than $90,000 in penalties and damages for racially motivated intimidation of a black neighbor. I'm Ryan Gatenby with your news flash.
Straight Talk Wireless presents Pickup Truck Wisdom.
If you're only good to your new friends, you're not going to have any old ones. Straight Talk gets it. That's why new and existing customers get free 5G phones on Verizon's 5G network. Pretty simple, really. You keep good people by being good people.
Find us at straighttalk.com and Walmart. Straight Talk Wireless. Straightforward. Always. Taxes and fees apply. Plan purchase required for free phone offers. Copyright 2026 Verizon.
Progressive knows life takes you in many directions.
Bear right at exit 32, then begin to wonder why you never bought a fish tank. In 1.3 miles, you'll realize you've been mispronouncing epitome your whole life. At the roundabout, you will remember you said something at dinner you wish you hadn't, and will think about it for decades. You have arrived at your destination, but it turns out there really is no destination, and life just keeps going.
Wherever life takes you, protect your home and auto with a bundle from Progressive. Progressive Casualty Insurance Company, affiliates, and other insurers. Not available in all states or situations.
With your news flash, I'm Ryan Gatenby. Brought to you by Rain-X. Illinois drivers are paying less for car insurance. Insurify says average full coverage rates fell 7.2% in 2025, saving drivers about $138 a year. The average annual cost is around $1,800. Illinois Attorney General Kwame Raoul's office has won the state's first civil hate crime lawsuit under a 2018 law. A Carroll County judge ordered 2 residents to pay more than $90,000 in penalties and damages for racially motivated intimidation of a black neighbor. Illinois Senate Democrats are pushing new taxes on digital advertising, billionaires, and corporations, arguing large companies aren't paying their fair share. Republicans counter that state spending has surged in recent years and warn higher taxes could drive businesses out of Illinois. I'm Ryan Gatenby with your news flash.
A KFC tale in the pursuit of flavor. The Colonel despised the word empty. Empty plates, empty tables, empty stomachs. That's why he made the KFC $5 bowls, like the famous bowl. Creamy mashed potatoes, crispy chicken, corn, gravy, and cheese. Because the only empty the Colonel liked was when you reached the bottom of that bowl. The Colonel lived so we could chicken. 5 KFC bowls for just $5 each.
Prices and participation may vary. Taxes, tips, and fees extra.
Rain-X wipers are the #1 wiper blades in America. That means all kinds of drivers choose Rain-X. Big drivers in small cars choose Rain-X. Small drivers in big cars choose Rain-X. Drivers with long hair and short commutes choose Rain-X. Drivers with short hair and long commutes choose Rain-X. Drivers with pets on board, babies on board, and bored babies on board choose Rain-X. Basically, drivers who love a clear view of the road all choose Rain-X wipers, the #1 wiper blades in America.
This is Sarah Silver with your Fox Valley forecast, brought to you by Progressive. This afternoon, cloudy with a high near 37, falling to around 32 later. Tonight, partly cloudy with a low around 8. Looking ahead to Saturday, sunny with a high near 22, cooling to around 20 in the afternoon. Expect a pleasant day with clear skies. Currently, 36 and overcast. I'm Sarah Silver on the Talk of the Town, WRMN.
Snapshot from Progressive wasn't created for just anybody. Oh no, we made it for you. Gradual breakers. You keep your eyes on the road, so you've seen it all. As long as it all happened directly in front of you, like a Swedish masseuse, your foot knows exactly the right amount of pressure to apply to the brake. That's why your passengers feel totally relaxed with you behind the wheel and occasionally super sleepy. With Snapshot, safe drivers like you get personalized rates based on your driving habits. Sign up today at Progressive.com. Progressive Casualty Insurance Company and Affiliates. Snapshot not available in California.
In the middle of the night, everything will be all right if you listen to Coast right here on WRMN, 7 days a week from midnight to 5 a.m. Each night on Coast to Coast, listeners are captivated by George Noory with discussions on news and current events, conspiracy theories, UFOs, life after death, and all things curious and unexplained. Coast to Coast, every night, midnight to 5 a.m. right here on WRMN AM 1410 and 96.7 FM.
This is Sarah Silver on the Talk of the Town WRMN. National news at the top of every hour and local news and weather at the bottom. Find more information about programming and current events at WRMN1410.com. News, weather, and entertainment across the Fox River Valley here on WRMN 1410 AM, the Talk of the Town.
Ladies and gentlemen, step on inside. It's Big Top Sports, your thrilling ride. From the Chicagoland to lands afar. With Derrick Geyer, your sports czar. The game's the place from field to rink. Hot debates, fast takes, no time to blink. The Windy City roar, the fans ignite. Your circus of sports under radio light. Big Time Sports, feel the roar. Where the wild games come to score. Geyer guiding the sports fan from the heart of Chicagoland.
And welcome back in to Big Top Sports here on WRMN 1410 AM with yours truly, Derrick Geyer. And if you want to get in on any sports subject crackling away in your mind, feel free to call in at 847-931-1410. That's 847-931-1410. You could also check me out on youtube.com at WRMN Radio. That's youtube.com at WRMN Radio. See my lovely, baggy-eyed, tired face. And leave a comment, please. Or leave me a thumbs up. Or hell, give me a negative review too. At least I would know that y'all out there are paying attention. No, please give me the thumbs up, please. I'm begging for a thumbs up. Or you could also be a part of the conversation on our text line at 505-926-1410. That is 505-926-1410 as well. And then don't forget, I mean, how could you? I've been talking about it all week. The Athletes Headquarters Foundation Big Game Benefit Bash is taking place at Wintrust Field, home of the Schaumburg Boomers. The Big Game Benefit Bash is sponsored by Celsius, Live Fit, Vasselli Law, and WRMN 1410 AM. So the game's going to be a live stream. There will be free parking, open bar, food, silent auction, raffles, games. And as I said, it is taking place at Wintrust Field, home of the Schaumburg Boomers. Get ready for an unforgettable big game night at the Athletes Headquarters Foundation 2026 Big Game Benefit Bash, where great people, great fun, and a great cause come together. This event is all about enjoying the biggest football game of the year while giving back and supporting the mission of the Athletes Headquarters Foundation. Once again, go to ahqfoundation.org/events to get your tickets. All right. So the NBA trade deadline has come and gone. And the Chicago Unbelieva-BULLS, well, they dropped another one. After trading 7 players away, collecting 14 second-round draft picks over the course of I don't know when, I don't know how long, but I just figured I will interrupt my program to bring you the fact that the Chicago Bulls lost to the Toronto Raptors by the score of 123-107. And, well, that's enough of that talk. That's all I got to say about that. Why? Because it is TGIFF. Thank goodness it's frackin' Friday. It's Friday. Oh, anyway. So, big game coming up. Super Bowl game coming up on Sunday. And, well, if you are paying attention to the Super Bowl, if you are going to be watching it, or hell, if you are going to be betting on it, I'm not going to be betting on it, even though if I would have bet on the Chicago Unbelieva-BULLS yesterday, I probably would have won because I would have taken the Toronto Raptors to beat the Chicago Bulls, and they did actually cover. But when the team that the Chicago Bulls faced was minus like 330 or whatever, yeah, I would have had to place $3.30 to win whatever, $1 to break even. And I don't like those odds. And probably they would have won, and I would have mushed that line. But any hootie. So what do you got? What are some of the prop bets that you have here? Well, I am going to the northeasttimes.com and their Super Bowl prop bet sheet. And if you are paying attention on the tube of views at youtube.com at WRMN Radio, you will see it right now. But since you are listening in the car and driving to wherever it is you're going to, we got the obvious one. We've got the coin toss. We've got, heads you win, tails you win, or heads you lose, tails you lose. I don't know, whatever you want. I am pretty much a heads guy. Although I do like a good tails every once in a while. I got to say, so it's kind of a 50-50 toss-up. I mean, obviously, coin toss 50-50. Okay, moving on. National Anthem. How long will the Star-Spangled Banner last? So you get the prop time there. And I don't know what it is right now. Hey, actually, hold on a second. You know what? I do have a computer in front of me. How long is the over-under time for the anthem of the Super Bowl? Happy birthday to me. And now I got to do it again because my stupid STOOPID didn't actually get it in the search bar. This is very riveting radio, I know. How long is the anthem over under? Okay, and right now it is for Super Bowl 60. 2020-60 over under for Charlie Puth's performance of the national anthem is set at 119 and a half seconds. So roughly 2 minutes, just under 2 minutes. So the odds are minus 110 or minus 125 for both sides. So you bet $1, you win 75 cents. You bet $1, you win 90 cents, depending on what sport book you go to for that. But Charlie Puth, well, good singer-ish, in my opinion. Not really a whole lot of, but, that's your own, that's my own druthers as far as, the performances and stuff goes. But, yeah, go ahead, make a bet, win. I don't. So you got that over under. First score, and game props as well. Will the first score be a touchdown? Will it be a field goal? Will it be a sack? Will it be a turnover in the end zone that gets knocked out of the end zone? I don't know. But those are all of, the first scoring prop bets that you can make. And then, of course, you've got the cacophony, the smorgasbord, if you will, of which player is going to score said touchdown, whether it's going to be a touchdown, whether it's going to be a running touchdown, whether it's going to be a receiving touchdown, all that stuff. If you've been watching the big game for as long as it's been around, 60 now, then you have some idea of how that works. Then there's going to be the halftime show. Halftime show is being sung or being performed, or the headliner, I should say, is Bad Bunny, one of the biggest superstars on the planet. What song will he open with? What potential guests will he have during the halftime show? Yeah, just another way of giving it out there. But let's see. So, obviously, Bad Bunny, Latin music, Puerto Rican superstar. And I mean, this pretty much seems like a slam dunk as far as like who would be a guest singer. Cardi B, because hey baby, I like it like that. Yeah, I'm gonna let them sing the rest of it because I like it like that. Then you also have potential appearances as well, like Young Miko, Yaco, or the reggaeton legends like Tigo Calderon. And, most assuredly, there's going to be the Puerto Rican theme for that. And just enjoy it. Try to enjoy it. Yes, you may not understand what he is singing, but just try to keep an open mind about it. That's all. As simple as that. Then another staple of the prop bet. What color Gatorade will be dumped on the winning coach? Or liquid? Basically. I mean, what do you got? You got the orange, you got the clear, you got the purple, you got the red, you've got the rainbow. Feel the rainbow. No, this is not being brought to you by Skittles. And then, of course, you've got the Super Bowl MVP and the final score. Now, right now, or the last time that I checked, actually, which was yesterday, you have that, Sam Darnold guy from the Seattle Seahawks. And quite coincidentally, or not coincidentally enough, the Seattle Seahawks are my pick to win the Super Bowl. And it's probably going to be a 24-21 score. Last minute field goal. But with that being said, if you know, you know. With that being said, if he goes ahead and balls out and he tosses for the 3 touchdowns or whatever and he gets it and he's responsible for moving the ball for the Seattle Seahawks, the next closest MVP odds right there is Jackson Smith-Njigba. I personally, because Well, it takes the guy to throw to the guy that's going to score. So if Sam Darnold throws to Njigba or another one of the Seattle Seahawks players, it's kind of going to be behooving of the fact that, well, the quarterback is going to win the MVP. Sorry, Jackson Smith and Njigba. You've already won the Offensive Player of the Year. You're not going to be winning the Super Bowl MVP as well. Just saying. But the trend is, or the trend has been, for the quarterback of the Super Bowl winning team to get the MVP of the Super Bowl. And then, of course, you've got the final score. Well, you the over, under, whatever, final score. And pretty much whatever other things that you could come up with. How many penalties are there going to be? Are there going to be penalties? Yes, there's going to be penalties, but maybe you could go ahead and not, and maybe take the prop bet of there's going to be no penalties. Or maybe how long are the reviews going to take by the zebras on the field? I hope it isn't something as controversial as whether it's going to be a catch or not. Oh, great googly moogly, that would suck, and that would ruin the Super Bowl and have idiots like me talking on the air about, did you see that? Did you see how badly the officiating was? That's all right. I admit I'm an idiot. And you are currently listening to Big Top Sports here on WRMN 1410 AM with yours truly, the idiot of all idiots, Derrick Geyer. Back in a bit.
As veterans, we're no strangers to helping others.
It's what we were taught, trained, and told to do.
It could be for anything. Helping a friend move.
Listening to a fellow veteran for hours, at any hour of the day.
Or just simply making time for people. A neighbor, a loved one, or even a stranger.
We're often the first to help others. There's no question about it.
But we do have one question for the veterans listening.
When was the last time you reached out for help?
Perhaps it's time to do for yourself what you would do for others.
If you or someone you know needs resources, whether it's for stress, finances, employment, or mental health, don't wait. Reach out.
Find more information at va.gov/reach. That's va.gov/reach.
Brought to you by the United States Department of Veterans Affairs and the Ad Council.
Welcome back to Winter Hack Radio, the place for clever hacks to survive the season. Icy driveway? Well, try spreading sand or birdseed to help with traction. Snowy puppy paws? Well, grab a whisk, brush it off, done. Catch COVID-19? Well, just get...
Actually, there's no hack for COVID-19. But if you test positive, prescription medications for COVID exist. Ask your doctor if they're right for you. Visit PfizerForAll.com to learn more. Sponsored by Pfizer.
They're simple, boring, never thought of until they're needed. They're windshield wipers. Only when Mary Anderson became annoyed that New York trolley drivers were stopping to wipe their windshield by hand did anybody do something about it. By attaching a spring-loaded arm to a rubber blade, one woman made travel easier and safer. Look to innovate and pass it on. From passiton.com.
Hi, I'm Ryan Blaney, a third-generation race car driver, and we dedicate a lot of our time to going as fast as possible. My grandpa Lou is the reason why my dad and I started racing, and I'm really proud to follow in his tracks. But when my grandpa was diagnosed with Alzheimer's, it was a very unexpected bump in the road for us. I've learned a lot on this journey with my grandpa Lou, and the memories of my grandpa will always be with me. It's important to notice if older family members are acting differently, experiencing problems with their memory, or having trouble with routine tasks. Talking about Alzheimer's can be really tough. But if you notice something, have a conversation with your loved one. Encourage them to see a doctor or offer to go with them. Early detection of Alzheimer's can give your family time to explore support services, make a plan for the future, and access available treatments. The Alzheimer's Association provides care, support, and research to help you take control of the situation with your family and manage the disease together. If you or your family are noticing changes, it could be Alzheimer's. Talk about seeing a doctor together. Visit alz.org/time to talk. A message from the Alzheimer's Association and the Ad Council.
And welcome back into Big Top Sports here on WRMN 1410 AM with yours truly, Derrick Geyer. And, okay, I'm sorry. I'm going to call myself out on my own smurf. I lied. What did I lie about? Well, I lied about not talking about the Chicago Unbelieva-BULLS. Because, well, I kind of feel like I need to. And I think this is just the right amount of time to give to the Chicago Unbelieva-BULLS. Yeah. I think this is just enough time to give to the Chicago Unbelieva-BULLS. Now, as you may know, Chicago Bulls traded away 7 of their players over the course of this past week. Trade deadline was yesterday, and the Chicago Bulls also had a game against the Toronto Raptors, as I previously said, where they lost 123-107. And I twist my arm talking about it, but you did have a couple players that the Chicago Bulls traded for making their debut with the Chicago Bulls, the Chicago Unbelieva-BULLS yesterday. So you had the likes of Jaden Ivey, Anthony Simons, Gershon, whatever. But welcome to the team, boys, where Jaden Ivey played 33 minutes, got 13 points. He was 5 for 12 from the field, 3 of 5 from the three-point line, had 4 rebounds, 6 assists, 3 steals. Not the bad, not the bad. And then there was Anthony Simons, who also played, well, he played 32 minutes, got a Bulls high of 22 points. He was 8 of 15 from field goal. He was 6 of 13 from the three-point line. He had 2 rebounds, 3 assists, 1 block, and 3 turnovers. And this is much ado. And the reason why it was such a lopsided score was because, well, when you have as big of a turnover in player personnel like the Chicago Unbelievably Bad Bulls have had over the course of this past week, then it is going to happen. And yet again, and it doesn't even matter if the Bulls traded away their entire roster or the 7 players that they did trade away, because, well, they did trade away 7 players. They still came away with, or they still turned the ball over 15 times. Now, listening to it yet again on the radio as I'm driving around and working, I took in the broadcast and just hearing the way that the color commentator and the play-by-play guy Chuck Swirsky was talking about it. It was like Billy Donovan was at his wit's end, and Well, he's going to continue to be at his wits' end going forward, trying to put stuff together because, I mean, players are coming in off of getting traded, no practice time, no understanding of what anyone else does. But yeah. Anyway, you're listening to Big Top Sports here on WRMN 1410 AM.
With your news flash, I'm Ryan Gatenby, brought to you by Rain-X. Illinois Senate Democrats are pushing new taxes on digital advertising, billionaires, and corporations, arguing large companies aren't paying their fair share. Republicans counter that state spending has surged in recent years and warn higher taxes could drive businesses out of Illinois. Illinois drivers are paying less for car insurance. Insurify says average full coverage rates fell 7.2% in 2025, saving drivers about $138 a year. The average annual cost is around $1,800. Illinois Attorney General Kwame Raoul's office has won the state's first civil hate crime lawsuit under a 2018 law. A Carroll County judge ordered 2 residents to pay more than $90,000 in penalties and damages for racially motivated intimidation of a black neighbor. I'm Ryan Gatenby with your news flash.
Straight Talk Wireless presents Pickup Truck Wisdom.
If you're only good to your new friends, you're not going to have any old ones. Straight Talk gets it. That's why new and existing customers get free 5G phones on Verizon's 5G network. Pretty simple, really. You keep good people by being good people.
Find us at straighttalk.com and Walmart. Straight Talk Wireless. Straightforward. Always. Taxes and fees apply. Plan purchase required for free phone offers. Copyright 2026 Verizon.
Progressive knows life takes you in many directions.
Bear right at exit 32, then begin to wonder why you never bought a fish tank. In 1.3 miles, you'll realize you've been mispronouncing epitome your whole life. At the roundabout, you will remember you said something at dinner you wish you hadn't and will think about it for decades. You have arrived at your destination, but it turns out there really is no destination and life just keeps going.
Wherever life takes you, protect your home and auto with a bundle from Progressive. Progressive Casualty Insurance Company, affiliates, and other insurers. Not available in all states or situations.
If you have been charged with driving under the influence of alcohol or drugs in Cook County, DuPage County, or Lake County, Illinois, call the law office of Mark Schieblo at 773-775-5050. That's 773-775-5050. Attorney Mark Schieblo has over 29 years of law experience handling DUI defense, traffic violations, CDL violations, and Secretary of State driver's license reinstatement hearings. All aspects of your case will be examined in order to find evidence that may help your case, especially the statutory summary suspension of your driving privileges. If your breath alcohol concentration level at the time of the DUI arrest is 0.08 or more, then the summary suspension of your driver's license begins 46 days after the arrest. Time is a crucial factor in challenging the summary suspension of your driver's license. Our law office is located at 5945 North Elston Avenue in Chicago. That's 5945 North Elston Avenue in Chicago. And again, our office phone number is 773-775-5050.
This is Sarah Silver with your Fox Valley forecast, brought to you by KFC. Tonight, partly cloudy with a low around 8. Wind chill values dropping to -2, with gusts up to 30 Mantort-Cossack remains. Looking ahead to Saturday, sunny skies with a high near 22. Temperatures falling to around 20 in the afternoon. Currently, it's 33 and clear. I'm Sarah Silver on the Talk of the Town, WRMN.
We know exactly what you're not thinking about right now. Wiper blades. But now that you are, take a moment to think about how Rain-X is the #1 brand of wiper blades in America. Why? Because Rain-X thinks about wiper blades all the time. We obsess, so you don't have to. Simply install our blades and then think about literally anything else. So choose Rain-X, America's #1 wiper blades, and then go back to not thinking about wiper blades. Rain-X. Outsmart the elements.
Ladies and gentlemen, step on inside. It's Big Top Sports, your thrilling ride. Big Top Sports, feel the roar. Where the wild games come to score. Geyer guiding the sports band from the heart of Chicagoland. Football frenzy and hoops so high. Baseball swinging as seasons fly.
And welcome back into Big Top Sports here on WRMN 1410 AM with yours truly, Derrick Geyer. Thank you for sticking with me on this TGIF. And if you know, you know. And if you don't, well, thank goodness it's frackin' Friday. Oh, long week. Big game coming up on the other end of the weekend. And I just couldn't help but sink my teeth into what the squirrels in my head were talking about. And so I will give you a little snippet of it right now.
Passes being Thomas, most of it being Thomas after, but instead the ball is moved. It is the tough the first.
Okay. Now, if you do not know whose voice that is that's going, Omaha, Omaha, Omaha. Well, that is none other than Hall of Fame quarterback Peyton Manning. Now, why am I talking about Peyton Manning? Because, well, I need to stretch my wings a little bit. And with that, I'm talking about the fact that, well, while Peyton Manning, yes, he's a retired NFL Hall of Fame quarterback, two-time Super Bowl winner, he is also thriving in the fact that dude's got the commercials, whether it be from like Nationwide, Buick. I kind of hesitate on saying, you know, the whole Papa John's thing because oof. But okay, that's cool. That's cool. Hey, and it's an endorsement. You're getting paid. I understand. Pizza. Well, being in the Chicagoland area, growing up on actual tasty pizza, I wouldn't exactly qualify that as that, but that's my own opinion. That the opinions reflected on Big Top Sports no way reflect that on the WRMN 1410 AM management. So, with that being said, I don't like Papa John's. I think that, you know, you got like Little Caesars or, you know, Domino's or Pizza Hut or whatever. Better brand. I don't want to get into that story. But, so Peyton Manning, Hall of Famer, made somewhere in the neighborhood of like $250 million in his football career. That's a nice, sizable chunk of change, right? $250 million. Yeah. Well, what did he do with that? He's got the endorsements that I've already just said, but he's also got and started his own very insanely stupid, insanely successful media company in one. What was it?
Peyton's right side.
Production company. His Omaha production company. Now, the reason why I'm bringing it up is I find myself watching WWE. I am a wrestling entertainment person, a smark or a mark or just an idiot, really. Yeah, you be the judge of that. I don't really care. No, I am not going to be doing a pizza review, but hey, thank you for tuning in on the YouTube at WRMN Radio. That's YouTube at WRMN Radio. Or hell, if you want to be a part of this conversation and you've maybe seen like some of Peyton Manning's productions, which I'm about to get to, feel free to call in at 847-931-1410. That's 847-931-1410. So, Peyton Manning with his production company. And when I say insanely, stupidly, highly successful, his production company is valued at over $750 million. $7.75 billion. Now, his net worth is somewhere in the neighborhood of like $300 to $400 million. Life is good if you are a Manning. So I've already gone over the fact that, he started his production company, Omaha Productions. How and what has he done to do that and parlayed that into a success? Well, if you have watched any of the Monday Night Football games, there's this thing called the Manning Cast. So him and his brother Eli Manning, both former NFL quarterbacks, chop it up and talk with various guests on various episodes and various Monday Night Football games. You got that. Then you've got the various Netflix productions that he does. That's right. I am watching something on Netflix, and I do believe it was Unreal, which is in the vein of the WWE behind the scenes action. And in this vein, Peyton Manning also takes a look with other stars like Patrick Mahomes, Kelsey, what was the Thor-looking guy? Oh, my goodness, the tight end for the 49ers. Might as well look it up. Tight end, 49ers, and it should come to me, but, George Kittle. Yeah, George Kittle. So behind the stuff, talking with football players and other athletes, which is phenomenal because, and had I had the coin or had the insight or the wherewithal or the stick-to-itedness, back in my day, I was thinking about doing this all the time. Yeah, a little bit of access goes a long way. And hell, if you are Peyton Manning, there is a cacophony. Oh, I like that word today, apparently. Cacophony. Or a cachet of being let in behind the velvet ropes. Oof. Not only that, but then you're interviewing people like, I don't know, Triple H, or I'm sorry, Paul Levesque, also known as Triple H, the Chief Content Officer of the WWE. Stephanie McMahon getting in there, doing her podcasts, doing the Unreal behind the scenes stuff. And it's just absolutely astonishing. The unfettered access and the growth of what he has been able to accomplish with his production company. And it's mind-blowing. I keep on seeing newer ones. Here, actually, let's pull it up. Here, Omaha Productions properties. And we come up with Omaha Productions, home. Okay, sure, why not? Let's click on there, the live show. Yep, then you got that. You got him doing his, Eli thing with the Manning Cast, the unscripted shows that uplift and unify. And they are a creative agency, Omaha Creative Agency, because that's what it says in the upper right-hand corner. Yep, okay, quarterback. Oh, quarterback, that was one of them. Then you also have, apparently he does his own commercials too. Then you've got the Manning cast. What else do we have here? Go back to the quarterback. Okay, cool. Quarterback creative agency. So, yeah. So, apparently, if you are looking to create social media content and everything, they don't just create content. They craft stories that connect, inspire, uplift, and unify. And better yet, they deliver results. Whether it's a sharp commercial, a captivating social campaign, or an unforgettable live event, our focus is on elevating brands and driving real impact. Smurf. Maybe I should get in touch with them. Maybe they'd like to take on Big Top Sports here on WRMN 1410 AM. I'll be wrapping up the week on the other side of this break, but great googly moogly. $750 million, Peyton Manning. And another dude that's going to be following in his footsteps, if he's not already doing it, it's going to be Patrick Mahomes as well. But, like I said, more on the other side, wrapping up this week of Big Top Sports here on WRMN 1410 AM. Back in a bit.
When it comes to orthopedic and spine surgery, Prime Healthcare St. Joseph Hospital in Elgin leads the way. Recognized by U.S. News and World Report as a high performer across multiple surgery types, we offer advanced and minimally invasive procedures supported by state-of-the-art imaging technology. Our expert surgeons and compassionate care teams are here to help you move, heal, and live better every step of the way.
I'm not going to lie.
St. Joseph Hospital in Elgin, exceptional care close to home.
I do feel a little toasty
There's no
right now.
championship league for small business owners, but if there was, you'd be at the top of the standings. Because going pro with Lenovo Pro means you've got the winning formation, one-on-one advice, IT solutions, and customized hardware powered by Intel Core Ultra processors help you stay ahead of the competition. Business goes pro
Good.
with Lenovo Pro. Sign up for free at lenovo.com/pro.
We ask parents who adopted teens to share their journey.
You build a relationship, then it becomes easier. You build trust, it becomes easier. As a parent, you want what's best for your child. To give them the love that a child needs. It's probably the best you can do.
Learn about adopting a teen from foster care. Visit adoptuskids.org to learn more. A message brought to you by Adopt US Kids, the U.S. Department of Health and Human Services, and the Ad Council.
When your car's feeling sluggish, don't stress. Just bring it down to Britain's Express Oil and Lube on Larkin Avenue for a fast, friendly 10-minute oil change and a full 18-point inspection. They've got you covered. Whether it's engine service, fluids, filters, or headlight check, they do it right. And they do it fast. Family run, quality service, right in your swing by today and keep your ride running smooth. Britain's Express Oil, your car's health partner in Elgin, proud sponsor of America's First.
Now available on Amazon.com and BarnesandNoble.com is the book called DUI Jury Trial, which is the true story of a truck driver in Illinois who was charged with driving under the influence of alcohol. Not only was he facing a revocation of his driver's license, but also a lifetime disqualification of his CDL, which would prevent him from ever driving a semi-truck again. This book includes backstories of the truck driver, the lawyers that defended the case, and the DUI expert witness who analyzed the case and then testified at trial as to the proper protocol procedures of the field sobriety tests as well as the breathalyzer test. This nonfiction novel also includes the actual court transcript from the jury trial, a courtroom showdown in which the final verdict would determine the fate of the defendant's livelihood. The book DUI Jury Trial is now available on Amazon.com and BarnesandNoble.com.
Welcome back to Big Top Sports here on WRMN 1410 AM with yours truly, the toasty one, Derrick Geyer. If you're not following along on the YouTube at WRMN Radio, you have absolutely no idea what I am talking about, but I was having a conversation with the viewers on the YouTube.com at WRMN Radio, which I didn't turn up the automation here, which is playing the music right now, the intro music right now. And then I forgot to turn down the actual microphone. So I'm having a conversation. I'm texting the WRMN Facebook, or I'm sorry, the YouTube at WRMN Radio feed, voice text. And I didn't realize that, well, the microphone was up. But like I said, it's Friday. It's been a long-ish week. I'm a little toasty, a little burnt toasty, if you will. And I think this is the time of the day that I am going to give my shout-outs. And first and foremost, thank you to everyone that is listening to my voice on the stick right now, also known as the radio in your car. I do appreciate you letting me assail your ears almost every Monday through Friday from 4 p.m. until 6 a.m. here on these very airwaves of WRMN. Oh, great googly moogly. Holy smurf. Yes, I know. I am not everyone's cup of tea. I get it. I'm a little out there. But I do have fun with what I am doing. And if that doesn't come across, I don't know what does. But thank you for listening. Thank you to the people that have joined my show this week. Shout out to Tony Tilo Lopez from the Parlay Podcast. It is a boxing podcast. He hosts it. He is one half of the hosts. And you could check him out on youtube.com, The Parlay. It's a boxing podcast with 15-year NBA legend, veteran, Kendall Gill. You know, the dude that does the pre- and post-game shows on CHSN for the Chicago Unbelieva-BULLS. Yeah, that dude. I also want to give a shout out to Andrew Scheid for coming in and making the trek here every Monday as well. So, Andrew, thank you for being my co-host on Mondays. Marcus Mack from The Truth About Chicago Sports every Tuesday at 5:30. I don't know what we're going to be talking about, but we're going to be talking about Chicagoland sports with the Well, actually, we'll probably be talking about the end of the NFL season and the Super Bowl coming up on this, this Tuesday at 5:30. But don't forget, you could also catch his show every Saturday morning, The Truth About Chicago Sports, here on WRMN 1410 AM at 8 a.m. until 9 o'clock. And I'm not exactly sure what the fantasy football blitz guys are doing. Maybe they're taking a hiatus. Maybe David Tees has another show lined up, but that would be the time slot after The Truth About Chicago Sports. And David Tees would usually be coming on around 9 o'clock until 10. And then it is going to be On the Rise with Mike Napolitano, Dalton Cooper, Nick Johnston. Oh, great googly moogly. Sorry, Nick. Nick Johnston from 10 until noon. And then with the baseball season right around the corner, there are going to be big things. And also do not forget that this is going to be the home of the Chicago White Sox. Oh, yeah. And with the big game coming up on Sunday, you could catch that live broadcast here on WRMN 1410 AM starting at 5 p.m. And I want to give a shout out to Bob Mariner for coming in on Hump Days, Hump Days, where we talk about, we talk about everything sports, but we also talk about NASCAR. So Bob is the resident NASCAR guru genius. He educates myself, and he also gives everyone out there the fix for making left-hand turns and possibly road tracks and all of that fun smurf. And then thank you today for Meagan Biebel coming in. Not coming in, but she called in. We were talking about her foundation, which is the Athletes Headquarters Foundation, and their big game benefit bash that is going to be taking place on Sunday. Doors open at 4:30. That is being held at Wintrust Field, Schaumburg Boomers. So go to ahqfoundation.org/events and get your tickets. That's ahqfoundation.org/events and get your big game benefit bash tickets there. The big game benefit bash is sponsored by Celsius, Live Fit, Vicelli Law, and WRMN 1410 AM. Don't forget, the game's going to be live streamed. There's going to be free parking. It's open bar, food, silent auction, raffles, and games. Once again, that is going to be at Wintrust Field, home of the Schaumburg Boomers. Oh, great googly moogly. Oh, and hey, the Olympics are starting tonight. Well, at least the opening ceremonies are starting tonight, or they've already started, I should say, because we're in the Central Time Zone and they're in Italy, Solano. I might be doing that. I mean, might be catching the ceremony for that. But, hey, don't forget, I will be there at Wintrust Field, Schaumburg Boomers, home of the Schaumburg Boomers, for the big game bash with Athletes Headquarters Foundation, along with Susie C., Elliot the L Train Serrano, Dino DeLaley as well. So come on out, say hello to us, and more importantly, say hello to Derrick Geyer, who is the new Chicago White Sox hitting coach. That'll do it for your boy here on Big Top Sports. It's been a hell of a ride this week, and I appreciate you tuning in as always. Be safe. Have great fun during the Super Bowl, and I'll catch you later.
Hi there, Tammy Scully here from Talk Time with Tammy and Friends. Join me and my sidekicks Nancy and Becky for valuable lifestyle tips and unique views and insights